All right, everyone. We are live. I have confirmed we are live. Just waiting to hear myself here, and we'll be good to get going. All right. Perfect. I've heard myself. I know we're good. Welcome, everyone, and welcome, Chris. How's it going?
We're doing all right over here. We're wrapping up summer on the East Coast and
Yeah,
watching some shorts into the fall here.
absolutely.
Pun on purpose. Pun on purpose.
So for anyone who doesn't know what's going on here, welcome. I see we got some good viewership already. What me and Chris are going to be doing for the last hour is we are going to be going over and kind of shoutcasting the last hour of the Battle of the Bears tournament, brought to you by Centerpoint. Again, there is no perfect sponsor for a short only tournament. They are very well known to have the locates that you need, right? We're doing this in sim, but when it comes to live trading, you need to make sure you're able to short the things that you want to short. And doing so by using a broker like Centerpoint will certainly help you out. There is nothing more frustrating, and I'm sure um, Chris will agree, than being right, saying, hey, this stock's going to go down today. I want to short it. I have my game plan set up. And then you go to hit the button, and your broker goes, no, you can't short that.
No, incredibly frustrating. And I would say this, generally speaking, if those are the kind of stocks that you're shorting, your professional trader as it is anyways, and you're going to want a professional broker like Centerpoint taking care of you like that. It's just as simple as that. You don't want to play around with your broker when it comes to things like that. You want the best in the business, and that's what they are.
Yes, yeah. There's your amateurish, for which is fine for some traders and investors, the payment for order flow guys, the free brokers. Again, if that's where you are in your trading, no shame, absolutely. But when it's time to level up, it's, like Chris said, it's time to make sure that you can get in out in and out when you want, where you want, right? You're not selling your order to Citadel or anything like that, and you're not missing out on those awesome short opportunities. So as always, what's going to happen is we're going to show you guys right here. Oh, not that one. That one. There, I missed your face there for a second, Chris. We're going to show you guys here. We're going to show you around what people are trading. As always, whether or not you're trading in the competition, if you're a Trade Ideas subscriber, you can always get to this board right here. I personally love it because people are doing the job curating what's going on for me, right? Everything you see on this list is going to be moving in some respect because we pull this from the winners. Say, hey, this is what the winners are looking at, so I should probably look at it as well, right? I want to see what these guys are trading. And in the background, me and Chris are able to see what they're trading, moves in and out. So we're going to be talking about who is buying what and where. Some comments I just want to make right off the bat. I hope Andy's not watching because I'm gonna talk nice about him. So I don't want to hear about this. But we have our own Andy Lindoff at number 5, and he was a little higher earlier. I think I saw him as high as number 3. Do you see that, Chris? He was popping up there.
I haven't, I've seen him popping up and down there. I haven't looked at the spots. I just know he's been in the top 10 basically the whole competition, I believe.
Yeah. And if you scroll to the bottom, you can always see your list. I don't even think I scrolled to the bottom last time when I was with Chris because I was getting absolutely
I
hammered. But
remember.
I'll take this one, and I want to just show too. So I'm up 7.5% roughly in 3 days, and that lands me at 29th. Just to show the competition that we're seeing. We show you guys the top 10, but you scroll down, you'll always see your place. And to get a 7.5% return in 3 days and to still be only 29th just shows that don't be ashamed if you're not in the leaderboard right now, because these guys are going crazy. These guys are swinging big for sure, to get some of these nearly a double on here for Spanky. So, and I just wanted to spend some time in there so the YouTube kind of thumbnail gets generated with me green this time as opposed to grossly red like I was before. Oh, so, yeah. So this kind of shows the top leaders here, and I want to go over. Last thing I want to cover is that we see some of the same types of people or the same people in general. And I love seeing that because it shows it's not random. If this was completely random, if the technology didn't help, if trading was just kind of a gamble or a crapshoot, you wouldn't see consistently over and over again the same people battling for top place. Some new people are coming in each time. That's because we're growing these competitions. They're getting kind of more popular as time goes on. But the fact that you see, like, I remember Scott Trades and we had Paul here, uh, a couple of these names coming just over and over and over again shows that they're these people, they're using these challenges to hone a skill, to create a skill, to have a methodology to their trading, to have a game plan when they come in. And even if they're not going to win every time, they're consistently coming into top place. And as someone who gets to interview all of the winners and talk to them, I hear the same thing over and over again, that this is allowing me to maybe try a trading style that I wasn't comfortable and experimenting with before. I can play with it now. I can try maybe a different edge that I thought I had before. I can, do some things that I never thought that I could prior. And they're building a skill and they're building a talent. They're getting better at their own trading by competing. And if they win, they get $4,000 Amazon gift card, and then a whole bunch of other stuff when it comes to center points, giving massive discounts to their broker. They're giving free trades. This is by far the biggest PMC challenge that we've had to date.
Without any question. And I think this will tie back. What you're saying reminds me, ties back to what we kind of ended the last time we did this here live. Uh, Take it seriously, right? This is it's in simulation, but especially if you're still refining and honing your skills, this is the way to make the simulation count a little bit more. Because obviously, when we're trading with real money, things are going to be different. Our emotions are involved differently in it, and how it impacts the trading, our share size. We were setting stops, covering all those things like that, right? But when there's nothing at stake, it's harder to take it seriously. And this, it's not, there's a few things at stake here. Number one, you're trying to win some, Amazon gift cards, and in this case, some really unbelievable prizes. Centerpoint was not cheap with what they did on the sponsoring, to say the least, right?
Yeah.
So there's that to make it this much more. But then there's, that sense of pride. Where am I on the board? Am I in the top 10? So on and so forth. And so it adds that little extra something that isn't there on just regular simulated trading, to take it up that extra notch and be a little more mindful about what you're doing, when you're doing it, how you're doing it, why you're doing it, all the things that equal a trading plan at the end of the day. And without a trading plan, you're gambling. Head to Vegas.
Yeah. Yeah, and let's quickly go over those awesome rewards that Centerpoint has given us here, where if you fund an account, you can get up to $15,000 worth of free trading, which means whatever your P&L would be, it's add $15,000 to it, right? So it's just for active traders, for professional traders. Again, we're going to pay for our trades to make sure they are going directly to the exchange every single time. To be able to save $15,000 on your trading is absolutely insane. Where, again, if you made, 20 grand over that period of time net, you add 15,000 to it, because if else you would have been taken out of for commissions. And a lot of people will look at that and say, oh, well, I traded a free broker, all of my trades are free. It's like, no, you're paying that $15,000 anyway. It's just not going to your broker directly, it's going to Citadel and then kind of coming back to your broker. So the fact that you kind of get that, and not only is that for commissions, it's also for locates. Because again, if you're a professional trader and you want to short these things, you have to get the locates. Those locates sometimes cost. If it's a very sought after short, a lot of these high flyers, people will compete and they'll pay to get access to being able to short these names. And you can get $15,000 off of those locates as well. So absolutely
Yeah.
insane. I think you'd be crazy if you were someone who liked to short these crazy stocks to not take advantage of this offer that they're giving you. Again, $15,000, just absolutely crazy.
Without any question. Like I said, they were not cheap about what they did. I also think, take it a step further here for those that don't know, whether they're watching live or they go back and watch this later, maybe they'll do some research on it. it's important to understand market mechanics with your trading, right? There's so much to learn about trading. That's why it's like, oh, can you teach me trading? It takes not a lifetime, but it takes a long time. And part of the mechanics, you're referring back to what Michael said, and who's clearing your stocks, who's clearing your trades, the flow of order, and things like that. So
Hmm.
often in life, we get what we pay for. And again, if you're someone who's just kind of buying and holding things, a Robinhood, for example, is great. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. But if you're really trying to make it to that next level, you're close, and now you're trying to figure out how do I get to that next level, the broker matters. It's just as simple as that. And
Yeah.
the flow of that, how the plumbing works on the trading and that flow of orders. And it's not just when you press buy on a market order or press sell on a market order. It's when you set those stops and targets and the limits and things like that. It's 4D chessboard. It's a 30D chessboard. It's whatever you want to call it. We get this tiny view that's like this of it, and behind the scenes plumbing is fairly insane. And even with as much studying I've done on, and Michael could probably say the same, I still don't understand half of it. So
Yeah, there's a lot,
what you get, what you pay for. You
a
get what you
lot,
pay for. That's all
a
there is
lot
to it.
to it for sure. Okay, let's hop into the trading here. I've actually just been doing a little bit of research, writing them down. The top three winners here. So we have Old Spanky. He had to come up with a funny name on this skull. But Old Spanky, I've got Peloton up here, and that is his current only open short position. So just to summarize real quickly, we have Spanky
Did
with
he close it? Because
96,000.
it looks like he has no open trades now on the leaderboard.
It may just take a second to refresh on
Yeah.
the main.
Okay.
Yeah, nope, you're right. He's just closed it, so it took a little loss there because I'm just looking at Peloton, and I just checked 2 seconds
Yeah.
ago. He was in, and now he's right back out. So, yeah. So we have Spanky with 96. We have Vanmark with 82. We have Fujo with 77. We have Paul with 74, and we have Andy down here with 73. These are it's essentially tied at this point. It's we have 45 minutes left in the day. We know these people are going to take some big swings, hopefully within the rules of 20,000 share maximum. You can only trade the same symbol 5 times per day. This is to stop people from kind of gaming the system and scalping in and out. We've gotten better as these contests have gone on, but there is definitely going to be some late day action, some late day trades. The other trades that I saw, and it was Vanmark, was in VARX. Or, sorry,
Mm,
VRAX must be. Yeah, this is one of those monkeypox crazy, isn't it? So let's grab
yeah,
a
I think so.
chart on this. So I'm going to make this a daily chart and again show the platform. You can see how quickly you can do that. Let's do a 15-minute chart here. And yeah, we have VARX. So this is an interesting play. I kind of like this as a shot because, right, it's been a high flyer. If we zoom out to the daily, it's been a high flyer for a number of days with this whole monkeypox thing that's going on again. And then we zoom in and we have a pretty clear level here. What, like 515 or so? If this can get under 515, that could be a move. And then in third place, which may have been Paul because they keep flipping around on me, we have XI. Oh, I see. So that's a very late day play that you would see here. You
Yeah.
have this name out of China has done 500,000 shares, only have 47 million in the float, takes a spike out of nowhere. That to me is a good one to take a shot on at the end of
Yeah.
the day trading.
Just the spread isn't wonderful on it for a under $5 stock. It's at 11 cents right now. Now it's closed up to 7 cents. I just watching on time and sales here with the broker myself.
Yeah, that's a
Um,
that's a wild one.
but if you could get that fill at the top, if you can get that fill at the ask, and then play it off the bid to the downside of the bid, it's a way to go at it right now.
So I wonder if Spanky's going to do the thing because yeah, I see he's in cash right now. Is he going to? I don't know. We've seen this before at the end of competitions where if someone's in the lead, they kind of stop trading and they just look and keep an eye on the people below them. But that could work if you have a substantial lead. In this case, pretty close, right? Anyone just a quick move could just kind of uh,
Yeah.
could make the
They're
difference.
going to
So
have to take some swings to get at him, though, with around a $20,000 spread between I mean, two, three, four, and five are all, like you said, essentially tied, but they're all about 25,000 behind him right now. They have to take a swing. One for you to bring up here and take a look at PRTG. That could be one here. It's trying to make a move back up above 6 right now. If it gets to that VWAP, I'd be watching for it to maybe fail at that VWAP and make a big tank back down into the. It could go either way, obviously. You get the VWAP and explode up back towards 8. It could get to that VWAP and fall right back down below 6. So that's one that I'd be taking a look at here, real
And
heavy. That's one that I used today. I shorted a few times myself.
And just to show a little bit about how quickly I was able to find that, right? So I have just this sorted. Again, this list is what everyone's trading, so we can kind of watch that in real time. And I was able to bring that up. And now, a new feature for those who pop into the web every now and then is if you just quickly hover over the symbols, you get these nice little thumbnail charts that'll give you a really good idea of what's going on. So I can look at that and quickly see exactly what you're seeing. Clicking on it, obviously bringing up this chart right here. Now, looking at what Fujo is in, actually 2 trades. So this GDC has been both a blessing and a curse to a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people. It's made a couple widows and it's done pretty well. You can actually see, again, for those who, this is all on the web, right? I'm a Mac guy, so I'm using this on my Mac right now. I'm short this one as well. Um, you can see that I must have been underwater quite a period of time because I'm short at $6, and today's, or the post market high was 12, and now we're back to 6. So now I'm comfortable bringing it up and show that I'm up 700 bucks after probably being down many thousands of dollars. Yeah, this one's been, go to the daily chart. Again, it's been a blessing and a curse because this during the competition has gone from $1 to, again, that high of 12.50 ish, and now all the way back down. So we have yeah, Fujo there with that. So again, spanky, right? You get a move like this on something like GDC and you're resting. It
Yeah.
could be bad news.
I'm curious. All right. So Van Mark, he's now at 80. He's almost at 84,000. He's got one open trade. So he's obviously going for it right here. What's that trade? Open trade. So he's got PRTG short at 20,000 shares right now.
Oh, so he's taking your idea there.
He could be. He could be.
So that's a full position. So is this another one of those monkeypox plays? I just assume everything's spiking right now that has biopharmas and monkeypox.
Research and development and physical engineering and life science. For whatever that means.
That's a lot of words.
Yeah, mostly word salad here. I have no idea though what it actually is. Let's see. Let's see if I can. I'm the same with you when it comes to news. I couldn't possibly. It means nothing to me.
Yeah, so
um,
just in case anyone's interested, so these are my trades, and again, you can do all of this from the web. I did all of my trading for this contest completely from the web this time, and it works very, very nicely. Eventually, maybe we'll link this to some brokers. Right now, it's a great way to do some simulated trading. This SDIG has been the bane of my existence. You see, I shorted. I thought this top might have been a long-term top, so when it kind of gapped up and it looked like it was going to fail there, I took a short. I took this ASTS yesterday, I think, because yeah, I just can't seem to get going over here. So I was hoping for a little late day fall, and then a
yeah.
GDC, and I'm just looking to see again. I just completely was not being responsible. I wonder how much I was down at one point. I should go look at that, but it would have been in the thousands of dollars, most certainly.
I mean, I told you right before we came online. I had shorted GOVX to the tune
Oh,
of
yes.
17,000 shares 2 days ago at 6:45, and the thing shot up over $9. I held it all the way through, and it came back today. And anyways,
Yeah,
I'm
these,
sitting in 22nd or 23rd place at this point, 23rd place. So
yeah, all of these plays are
that was
just,
fun.
this thing has just been insane as well, right? I remember
That is
this
that
one
is a
from,
monkeypox one for sure. The other one that I mentioned, PRTG, looks like they just did a reverse split was all, and it's reverse split nonsense news.
yeah, people do end up liking that. Oh, do we see? Yeah, we have another trade from our winner here in BYU. Never heard of it. Most cases I
Hmm.
haven't heard of it.
Short to the tune of 6,300 shares. BYU.
So this is right, daily chart from $1 to $4 in just a number of days. Another kind of Chinese
Well,
name
look at
right
the
here.
spread on that. Look at the spread on that. So you
Oh,
got
yeah.
338 for the bid and 369 for the ask right now. So if he could play in between that, he's going to do himself. And he's got a great entry price right now, I think. Great entry price on that.
Hold
I
on, this
won't
is
mention it.
yeah, 371. Now let's
Yeah.
call him out.
All right, we're
Three.
calling him
So
out.
yeah, that would be interesting if this ends up kind of giving the ghost up at the end of the day. But just a large spread like that's a double-edged sword.
It's
You
true.
could
It's
get
true.
when you have something that moves, when you see gaps on the 15-minute chart, there's nothing stopping the next print from being over $4. So that's
I think there's gaps on the 5 minute chart. So
that's a little bit dangerous. That's 11, no, 6,300 shares. So that's not insane, right? $20,000 cost basis. So it would
yeah.
have to explode to dramatically hurt them. So it's interesting to see people still doing a good job managing risk here. Now let's creep on Andy. What's Andy doing? He's got some trades going on here. RETO. Oh, RETO. I see what's going on here. This is crazy.
I
Let me
think we
do
both
a
saw the same thing.
yeah. Let me do a little yell at Andy.
Well, I gave him PRTG, so he should have went with that. Although
And
PRTG is moving up now. Yeah, no, okay, sorry. My race is showing it at 629. Well, yeah, it's hovering there. It was back down to 610. Now it's at 622. So it's fighting. Like I said, if I was trying to make a play for the win on this here, that PRTG around the VWAPs where I'd be looking at, because I feel like that could be potentially the biggest mover to either side. And if it does explode up through that VWAP, there's still 35 minutes plus left here to short it back down off of that. I look, it's Friday. The Fed did what they did today. I don't know what they did. They said something that obviously made the market really schizophrenic, but I'd say a
oh,
little
it's
more
crazy.
positive than anything else.
Yeah.
And I think you're going to find, while people are going to take more risk home, I think this weekend than the last couple of weekends, maybe. I don't think PRTG is something people want to take home over the weekend. So I would expect people to be running for the exit at some point on the stock. I could be wrong, and it wouldn't be the first time, but it's not an investable stock.
Well, that's why I do like doing these on Friday at the close, especially for these short challenges, is because you sometimes do see those complete dumps of, this is
Yeah,
something that was very interesting, stock, very interesting, and then like half hour to the close, they go, it turned out it was just a bunch of retail traders trading.
yeah.
But after what me and Chris saw, what we saw with Andy's account, I'm going to publicly shame him here live on air for breaking the rules of the 20,000 share minimum and use this as a great opportunity, which is, I'm sure, why he did it, to explain to everybody that at the end, we're going to go through the trading and rule breaks will be deducted from your total. So, you know, if you're in second, third, or fourth place right now, don't completely, throw up your hands and give up. Keep fighting until the end, because it could be there could be some rules that we have to adjust some trade sizes and some portfolio and some wins. So I'm sure that's why Andy did that, is so that we would have that opportunity to just remind people that, again, things will be audited, things will be reviewed, and we'll email obviously the winner when they come out, whether it's what we see on the board or
Fujo making a
otherwise.
move here on the board now. They're up over Van Mark, and they're in GDC to the tune of 10,000 shares short at 572. So
Oh, so added
we got
in
some
there.
movers and shakers going on here right
Added
now.
into some GDC, the Widowmaker, I'm going to call it. Oh, it's starting to break down a little bit. That makes sense, right? Lean on the winner.
Yeah, yeah.
Lean on the winner if you can. And again, it's just, I just love seeing that these people, and when I interview all these winners just over and over again, I hear, hey, I was able to experiment a little bit more with, the reason I brought this up now is because I believe the last person or the winner before that mentioned they were always afraid to step on the gas and add to winners when those winners occurred, and use the competition in the paper trading competition to really hone that skill of, okay, I'm gonna
Yeah,
start with a small position. If I'm wrong, I'm out. If I'm right, I'm really gonna start going for the throat, adding to that position, getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And they found that is what won them the challenges. They had a couple good trades that they were able to just step on the gas on, and that really made the difference with, keeping all of these losers really, really tight. So, yeah, maybe I'll take to have a chat with Fujo as well, and maybe that's something that's new to them. For me, I've always been awful to adding to winners, so it's definitely something that I want to play more with myself.
It's definitely an acquired skill. It's not something I think people do right away. Because it becomes one of those things where you take a smaller position to start, whether it's long or short, and then it starts to move with you in your favor. And then to add to that, all of a sudden you're raising your cost basis and things like that. And it's against all of our human programming, because as humans, we're programmed. We want to, like, what's on sale? I want the shirt on sale. I want the restaurant on sale. I want the vacation on sale. I want the car on sale. But in trading, we learn it's completely the opposite. We want to follow the trend to the upside if we're long, to the downside if we're short, right? The trend is your friend, until it isn't, all those sayings like that. But it
Mm-hmm.
becomes one of those very, very difficult things as human beings to reverse engineer that programming we have all of our life. You hear, your parents are talking, your aunt, your uncle are talking, your friends, oh, I'm saving up for the baseball card or the bike or whatever it is. It's completely the opposite of what we know. I just want to note Spanky Squirrel in the comments, not my first trade of the day in BYU, for what it's worth.
Oh, so yeah,
So we got
playing
Spanky in here listening to us.
just playing a little risky there. And
He's
again,
got
it
3 open trades now.
it could work. It could certainly work, but yeah, those wild spreads, that crazy action. Uh, Again, double-edged sword, right? When you go to lower volume, more volatility, can work great for you, can kind of work great against you. I do see this PTRG or PRTG working out a lot of them. I see a lot of action there. Earnings in
Yep.
one day. Jeez, so what's
Oh
that?
wow, yeah. So it's got that plus that
Yeah.
reverse split news. Interesting,
So
interesting.
earnings on Monday. I do see what
Wonder
you're
how many
looking
people are
at
going to
there.
punch that as a lottery ticket in real trading right now.
Yeah, well, that's, you could do that. I don't know if I would recommend it, but you certainly could do
Oh, I
that.
wouldn't, but
Matt,
there's going to be people that do it.
massive volume with 38% there and
Yeah.
500,000 shares. 1 second there, Chris. I just gotta beat these dogs real quick. Hold on.
Well, for what it's worth, I don't think anybody can hear the dogs that are over there. So, um, just again, I want to dovetail while Michael takes a step away for a moment back into taking this contest seriously, especially if you're still on the newer side of trading and still trying to figure things out. What we put into life is what we get out of it. So the more serious that you can take this kind of competition where there are some actual stakes, and though they're not as high as, obviously leveraging your own money, uh, treat it real, and you'll find that those results that you're getting out of it will certainly have a positive impact on what you're doing. So I was just reiterating why I stepped away. Important to treat this like a real contest and not just garbage and throw everything at it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I swear to Amazon knows when I'm on air. It just that's their like they schedule their deliveries around the same time that I'm chatting. So the dogs are doing an amazing job of protecting me from the Amazon driver for sure. So Fujo, oh, what is this?
Yeah, I know.
Entering
I'm
at
watching it.
UBXG. This is another crazy 29 million shares, and it looks like that must have all happened in this candle. That's a crazy amount of volume to see that kind of action in a stock. He's climbing though, right? It's
Yep,
we talked about $20,000 between them to begin with. Now we're talking $10,000, right? Still a half hour to go. Some
yep.
crazy action. Could see some wild action at the end of the day too. As you mentioned, today was some Jack's hole or some, I don't know, some sort of
Yeah, they go meet at some.
Fed.
I forget what it is. Yes.
Yeah, the Fed
Um,
hung out and
yeah.
talked about
It's a whole
something.
bunch of rich people get together with all the rich policymakers. Hold on one second. What is it?
That sounds fun. But yeah, so when that came out, we rocketed to new highs and then completely tanked to new lows, and now we are pretty
Yeah,
much right where we opened.
Jackson Hole.
Oh, okay.
Jackson Hole. That's what it's called. It's in Wyoming, apparently. So,
So yeah,
just to show you how much the two of us care about this kind of
yeah.
thing.
Some Fed guys said something, and a lot of people got their stops triggered, right? Because yeah, the initial
On
reactions
both
a
sides.
rally, and then tank, and then it's one of those that if you just looked at the end of the day, if you came in at the end of the day, you wouldn't have
Yeah.
known any of this kind of stuff happened. And it's yeah, it's an inside day, so we didn't even leave yesterday's range, which is something I did want to talk about, right? So we, of course, we're setting up these contests well in advance, and without having a crystal ball, we have no idea what the market's going to look like when we set up these challenges. It, could be a ripper, it could do nothing, there could be craziness going on. And the fact that all of these people are doing this with this short only challenge, with the market just screaming higher like this, is a testament. Every day the
Yeah.
market seems to be making a new high and a new high and a new high. I think I read a stat that yesterday's candle was the first candle to break a prior candle's low in 13 days. It was the first time that we made a 2 day low in 13 days, which was crazy. And yeah, these people, it just shows that if you've got the right scanning software, if you're looking at the right stocks that are in play at any given time, it doesn't really matter from an intraday point of view what the market is doing, right? If you're trading the bigger names, if you're sticking on Apple and Google and Nvidia and all these are going to move somewhat with the market. They're going to trace the market because they're in the market, right? The market is a basket of stocks, the SPY is a basket of names. And if you're trading, especially the names that are the biggest in there, your Apples, your Googles, all that kind of stuff, you're going to be tracking that market. But if you're doing what a lot of the people do in all these challenges, and they look for that crazy thing that's in the news that day, it's in play, there's some reason that it's doing what it's doing, then it doesn't matter what the market's doing, right? You can kind of do whatever you want, right? And
Yeah.
that's
Well,
the
that
beauty
goes
of it.
back to relative strength, right? I mean, for me, you're the king of relative strength, and whether it's the strength alerts scan that you created or something else anybody else is doing for as far as that goes. But I just often think about the two of us say in Slack enough making a shopping list, right? So when we've got those
Mhm.
sell-offs, making a shopping list, it doesn't mean I didn't buy anything yet, but let's look, there's a sell-off, let's look at what's sold off the least. Now
Yeah.
there's a bounce. How is that playing in the bounce? So two stocks, just if anybody wants for some uh, homework to do and look at this, I'd look at ZETA and RKT, right? Both of those, when
Yes.
we sold off a few weeks ago, they did not tank like the rest of the market did. And their reaction to the upside has been really, really positive, now I'm a sinner that I was in RKT. I was in at 1650 from some time ago, and as we broke over 19 and kind of flirted back and forth around 19, and I knew I was possibly going away this weekend, I said, let me close it. Now of course I'm mad that I closed it, right? But that's the way it goes sometimes.
Hmm.
But that was kind of what the plan was all along. But just showing relative strength. Now look, how, I mean, I know you'll know this, but to have found those two stocks, it probably went through like 500 charts before I found two stocks that were like that I was like, those are two I really want to watch after that sell off. So that's the work we do. That's the real work. It's not pushing the buy and sell buttons. It's all the other stuff that's in between is the real work.
Exactly. Now we have almost, so two things to note. We have Spanky double now, right? Doubled the account. So far,
Mm.
right? Up 100% in 3 days. Absolutely crazy. But we've had Vanmark just kind of pop out of nowhere. I went and I take a look at what he's trading. Took a whole 20,000 share lot on this actual trade that you were talking about, this PRTG. So has a pretty good fill there as well. Where was I? I was just looking at where you sold it, 608. So got pretty close, not quite at the high of this candle, but pretty close to the high of this candle. So it could be enough that if we do have a reversal, we could get some moves there as well. So,
What did
um,
I say? That PRGT, watch it for that VWAP. Couldn't quite get to it, bounced up towards it, and then fell right below six again. So I mean that's a trading plan right there.
yeah, yeah, and that's six, and it's You watch, there was a 15-minute candle that broke six, failed right here, broke six, failed right here, broke six, right? So it does seem like there is, at least for now, some power that be there's someone that's offloading shares at that $6. And because he's got as big of a position as you get, even if Spanky were to go and match that position, it won't really help him, right? Oh, and then
Yeah,
Fujo with a
no,
big
that's
jump here.
exactly it. So he's
We are getting
kind of
some
really
neck
hedged there at this point.
some neck and neck action. We have Fujo now with 4 open trades. Took some of that PTRE. Oh, this FFIE. This thing has just been.
That thing was crazy yesterday. I wanted to take a position in it when it was around 4. I got distracted with work, and next thing I know, I look up. I was at 450. I'm like, I like it was 3 minutes. Like, how did it go up 100% in 3 minutes?
Yeah, it was so from $2 up to 10, and now it's fading back. So he's taken a position short on this one, and got short at $6.84. Uh, so about flat on it right now, but that's a new trade. Also took this PRTG as well. So kind of splitting his bets into the close, trying to see if he can find a number of trades that potentially could work out for him here. So neck and neck, right? We're seeing it.
Yep.
We know 1, 2, and 3 are just going. I don't know if Paul is gone for the day or kind of took off, but that's not necessarily a bad thing because we saw, I believe, with uh, Lazar actually in the last competition ended up getting second place by not being there for a day as well. So,
Yep.
so
Watching this here now, Van Mark and Fujo, separating themselves from positions 4 and 5 at this point. But Spanky's looking to crack 100K at the closed profits, very very close to doing. Actually, his closed profit and his open profit puts him over 100K right now. From what I can see, he's got 800 open profit. So
yeah,
looking to
that's.
keep some distance with 22 minutes and change to go here.
Well, the question is, and you never know with the market, right? Something could just pop out of nowhere that ends up being, right, the thing that really makes the difference. Where, all of a sudden you have a trade that just kind of a stock. I remember one of the times me and Steve were on, and it was Kodak of all companies, just came completely out of the blue and just rocketed and actually brought someone completely into the lead. So again, you never know, right? You never know with this market what could occur that just kind
No,
of shakes things up completely.
that's exactly. It's a GDC. It continues to just grind on lower here over the last 15 minutes, 20 minutes or so.
Speaking of, we have this FNGR that's kind of popping out of nowhere here. We have GHSI. And again, I'm getting all of these from the list of what people are trading. So I think people are kind of leveraging into some of these high flyers, looking to see if there's a late day sell off. And again, just to show people what you can do and how I was able to do, I'm still doing all right. I'm up 10 grand almost now from the web. Is my game plan was really, really simple. Is I just went through this list right here every day, and I just said, give me the names that were up the biggest from the close. So I did this at the end of each day, and I went to another part of Trade Ideas, which is my watch list. And at the end of each day, I just looked at, hey, what changed? What was the biggest rally? And I just made a watch list for them. You guys, the guys who watch the podcast, used to seeing this screen. This is what the screen I show during the podcast each time. These are all the names that we were talking about. But I just made a watch list. I just went through and I just kept adding names to the watch list, and then watching that into the next day. And you can just take your trade right from the chart right here. So that was my game plan for it. Obviously not as good as the rest, but again, all kind of web-based trading. Oh, it's GDC is really selling now, isn't it?
Yep. It's trying anyways. 5 might be a challenge for it to get through. You might find some buyers coming in at 5.
Yeah, it's got one dip there already. It looks like it might be trying to work on another one as well. Very, very interesting. Let's take a look. See, yeah, same three leaders. Andy, I think has he calmed down a little bit since I verbally yelled it. I smacked him in chat there. Um, You guys can't see, but we have our company Slack where I told Andy he was DQ'd, and he's all up in arms. He's trying to figure out why he didn't read the rules. You have to read the rules, guys. And that's why, again, we're going to go through these. We've been keeping an eye as things have been going, but we're going to go through the winners at the end to make sure everything's on the up, and all of that exists correctly. So don't be Andy, right? Don't be an
Well,
Andy
be
and
Andy
trade
with your
cheap.
real trading. Be Andy with your
Yes,
real trading, but not with your contest trading.
right, exactly. Uh, Penny Pincher,
Ugh.
yeah. Some of these names, a lot of these names have been on this list the entire time too, right? The just to see, but yeah, this GDC is going to be a big deal. What was Van Mark in again? That one's going to be because right now I
PRTG.
think got 20 minutes left. I think we're pretty much in a two-horse race here.
Yeah, three horse race. It's I think. Oh, sorry, no, you're right. Two horse race because I didn't realize Van Mark has 8,500 open
Mm.
in profits. So yeah, that puts him up
So
almost neck and neck with Spanky at this point.
he's in your trade right here, your PRTG, and he's also in
Yeah,
this VRAX.
yep,
VRAX, which I'm pretty sure this is one of those monkeypox plays. So this is the
yeah,
one
it
I
is.
talked about right at the top of the hour. So, uh, I love the drawing tools we have here. So yeah, I'm just looking at this area right here. You can see, been support a number of times. It's been support right back here, and then it's been in support again right back here. So this kind of 5.15 $5 area seems very, very important for the stock. So if it can, bleed through that by the end of the day, I would imagine you're going to have a lot of stop losses in this particular zone. So let's see what happens. But so far, this has just been dead. It hasn't been moving one way or another, kind of one iota. I don't know if that's a game plan that I would take, right?
Yeah,
Careful. All right, now what else do we have? Just trying to see. So
trying to find
Spanky's
to see if
still
there's anything
battling here.
else. There's
Spanky back
uh,
under 100,000. Oh, GDC. Yeah, it was that $5 GDC bounce that seems to be hurting him. Because he was short that position, that's the one that got him. But if you're right, and we do have a pretty substantial bounce at that $5, that could take back a fair amount of that overall existing profit that he has. So that combined with what Van Mark has on his side, could be the difference. Spanky has been very, very active. You can see 40 trades here. Uh, been trading a lot on this particular position. But it's interesting to see the amount of money that people are making on a lot of these accounts. They're not doing so with crazy, crazy trading. There's not thousands of trades that are going on here. You're talking 40 different. So it seems like he went and he would take a feeler with a many different symbols, many different positions, or what going on, and then probably leaned into the ones that were working in the long run here. I keep scrolling down to see my account. It'd be nice to be over 10,000. I'd be happy with that by the end of the challenge for sure. But yeah, so now we've got about 8,000 or so between them. So could be 15 minutes left. Could be a little bit of an upset here. If I'm Spanky, I'm a little bit nervous because you've got two options. You're either going ghost and you're just covering your GDC for a good profit here, and you're just hoping that nothing crazy happens. Or you continue to trade, and of course, with every trade you take, there's a chance that one's not going to work out for you. So, either way, you're taking a risk. It would be certainly a darn shame to have something occur where, hey, you think this is going to be the trade that separates you from your opponent, but ends up being completely different.
when to hold them and when to fold them. Kenny Rogers, man. But as I said before, you take this seriously right up to that point, and now you do have to go for it. So, on Spanky and Van Mark's side, what going for it means is two different things. Obviously, one is playing defense, and the other's got to play offense, right? So,
Yeah.
but Vanmark is still only at 93,000 with his open and closed profit, where Spanky's at 99,500. So he's still got, a good little cushion there of several thousand dollars. So,
Mm,
Spanky doesn't have that. I think, with 14 minutes and change here, $4,000 is a good amount to make up now. You're going to have to, Van Mark's got to take some real big home run swings on share size, but he can't go over the 20K, number one. And number two, whatever he goes in at, it's got to move for him. There, him getting 4 and 5 cent moves isn't going to work
yeah.
because he can only he's probably traded some of the bigger movers already a few times today, and it's a max 5 per symbol, so he's already probably exhausted some, if not all, of those movers. So trying to find more movers at this point in the day and taking that share size, that becomes very tough. So these are the realistic things that I'm looking at as far as him trying to get that move off of there. And look, if he could take a 100K position in something, and where there's margin involved in this and whatever else, he'd only need to get 3 and 4 cent moves a couple of times, and he'd shoot back over into a lead. But that's not possible at this point. So
Q's the Nasdaq turning a little bit here. Nothing.
yeah, so is the
Uh,
SPY I'm watching on a 15-minute chart. I
yeah.
mean, look, we're
Again, it's
we're less
smack
than
in the
four
middle.
points off of all-time highs.
Yeah.
I'm not going to disclose what I'm doing, but I'm going long into the weekend. I'm going real long into the weekend right now, so I'm not afraid.
Yeah. Well, and this whole Jackson whole thing was a big deal. I saw a lot of people on Twitter, yapping about
Yeah,
it,
look, it's a
and
big
then
deal.
but
I always, without trying to get too sidetracked here, but I think we got a second. I think of Matthew Verdow and Optima, and him in one of his lessons. He talked about we're technicians that live in a fundamental world, and that's what the economy is, based on fundamentals. And regardless that these numbers get revised 1,000 times and blah
mhm,
blah 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 blah. If they cut rates, like I guess that's what the news was, that helps. The biggest part of any economy is the housing market, and lending, essentially. So housing and cars are your two probably biggest drivers of any economy. They cut rates, the banks can lend money easier, blah 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 blah. Market goes up. So people can be upset about, be mad about it all you want or whatever, or you can participate in it and make some money. It's up to every individual. But you and I see the same kind of nonsense on Twitter, people being pissed about it.
yeah.
I'm not saying it's right or wrong. All I'm saying is I plan to try to make money on it. Will I make some money on it? I don't know. The trading plan will determine that at the end of the day. But
Well, and yeah, it's the question is always gets to how much is priced in, right? How much of what, that's why at the end of the day you don't really know. They could have said whatever they want. It's what was said versus what was expected and whether or not that was priced in. But I'm kind of with you that now that that's out of the way and the market didn't do anything, like a lot of intraday volatility to do absolutely nothing, that could
yeah,
be the clear skies that some of these institutions have been waiting for and say, okay, this
that's
major
that's
events
exactly.
out of the way, nothing happened, so let's move
Yep.
on and focus on the next thing. So we actually have Spanky closing out his position, lost a fair amount, so GDC must have had a pretty rough bounce there. Yeah, it had that $5 you were talking about, that held it, and it did have a pretty substantial bounce. And we have Vanmark still in your PTRG, so that's going to be. And I'm looking at this chart, and it's looking better and better to me. It sold off a little bit, tried to bounce there,
It's
and
now
then just
under the 8 EMA on a 5 minute chart, and it's under the 8 EMA on a 3 minute chart, and it's being pinned down for the last several bars on both of those. So
so that's interesting.
and again, there's earnings on Monday. It's a reverse split garbage stock. Sorry if that offends anybody.
Oh no, well,
Um,
all these are garbage
but
stocks, right?
I'm honestly not sorry at all. I mean, it's got a lifetime high of $899.53 from its reverse splits, because I guarantee this wasn't the first reverse split today. So that just tells me that it's a company that makes absolutely no money.
Hmm.
Um, it's got 5 million in cash, according to what I can read here, and it's revenues that don't even report revenues. So you know, this isn't the stock that I want to be long going into Monday with. And
Earnings
with
per
that said,
share,
it's
yeah,
it's a
negative.
lottery ticket. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
exactly. It's a
negative
negative
dollar.
earnings per share.
Yeah.
So now, with that said, it's a lottery ticket. And look, if you were someone that's got money to quote play with, and you've got a trading plan in place, and if the thing, let's say, drops all the way back down to $4 a share or something like that, and it doesn't impact your portfolio in a negative manner in the sense it's wiping you out, then yes, I can understand why people might want to punch this lottery ticket through the weekend with that trading plan, with that kind of money that they could do. But you're not one of those people taking this into Monday. You're risking an awful lot there, and I wouldn't be doing that personally. That's all.
No, that is certainly a big ask from, trying to hold something like that. But for a trading vehicle, it's kind of exactly what you want, right? You want these
Yes.
irrational movers, because what you're going to do is you're going to get algorithms that are trying to be rational, trying to take positions and kind of getting a bit blown
Mm-hmm.
out, because at the end
Yes.
of the day, it's the irrational side that ended up doing it. I'm shocked and a little bit offended that nobody is looking at my ASTS. And the only reason I'm looking at it is because I'm short for the challenge, but it's getting very close to the lows of days here. 10 minutes left. This area of support's been big. This has been a high flyer that's gone from, and this is another one of those crazy things. They're launching stuff into space. They don't make a dime yet. That's an incredibly expensive, thing to potentially trade. And again, we have this move from $2 up to 40, and it's starting to break down here. I'm liking my ASTS, and I'm liking the fact that I'm kind of climbing the leaderboard here. I got my $10,000, gets me up to 26%. So I'm going to pat myself in the back a little bit there, and just shocked that no one else is taking a look at this as it continues to kind of break down here.
What I am shocked about is, so that is a stock that consistently had come through my relative strength from the open day trading races over the last at least 12 months. I constantly see it come up, especially early in the morning. And it was just one of those like ones that's just going to give it up. It's going to fade eventually. And so when it started to like make that move, I was like, gee, is it going to do it this time? And
Hmm.
to say I was blown away by what that stock has done over the last few weeks would be an understatement. But I'd say this: anybody that's an investor in that company, a believer for whatever reasons, whether it's technical reason or fundamental reason, it doesn't matter. Good on you. And I'm very happy. I'm always happy to see people make money. Always
Yeah.
happy to see people make money.
Yeah, so it was ASTS, and it was SERV, which was
Yep.
robotics, and so now we've got AI, we got space, we got robotics. Welcome, Chris. We're in the future now. We're living in the future.
Yeah. We're getting there, that's for sure. Listen, the stock market is the greatest mechanism. The U.S. stock market is the greatest mechanism on earth to sniff out nonsense
Hmm.
and to sniff out winners. It doesn't always get it right away. It can take some time for it to all pass and digest through. But look, Bed Bath and Beyond, garbage company, garbage product, garbage management.
Yep.
Goodbye, delisted.
Bye.
Right?
Yep.
That's just how it works. Apple, Microsoft, you can hate them all you want. They're monopolies. Their tech doesn't work the way you want it to, so on and so forth. Their sales tell you everything you need to know, and the company and the stock market tells you everything you need to know about them. That's just how it works.
Now, while we've been waffling here a
Yes,
bit, you see the
yes,
closing of the gap. We
yes.
are we are within what, $1,700 first, second place, and when we started this couple minutes ago, what 50 minutes ago, we were $20,000 in the difference. So your PTRG has really helped Vanmark really, really close the gap here. And I would love to see, um, even if I'd like to talk to both of you, Vanmark, Fuji, all three of you, if you will. So stay tuned to your emails, because I'm going to be reaching out to each and every one of you. Because again, this was very, very exciting to see at the end. Now we have, for some reason, we have Spanky, who is short one share of my ASTS. So I guess agrees with my thesis, but to the tune of a single share. So not a lot of conviction in that one. And then yeah, we still have Vanmark, who has been riding your PTRG down. To me, this looks kind of better and better. It's really all about, can it get this done in the next few minutes? If it breaks this,
Yeah,
525-ish area of support, it could just be a flush down. And we record right to the closing bell. So the system is designed that exactly at 4 Eastern, everything gets caught, and that's when everything is tallied. You will see, some movement and the accounts, but that is where everything gets tallied. We take a screenshot and then we go through and look at what happens. But I jinxed it. I jinxed them by even bringing it up and talking about, because we're getting a little bit of a short-term bounce here with 5 minutes. So exactly one 5-minute candle remaining here. Yeah, finding some kind of bid here as well. What was the other one? VRAX. That was the other one he's trading. Oh, and that's fallen apart. So this was the one. It was, yeah, about 525 ish. That was
Yeah.
the support. That's falling apart. That makes me wonder if the other kind of monkeypox type names are giving up. No, see, GOVX is holding a little bit. So this is
Yeah.
an interesting one.
I wouldn't expect much more of a move out of GOVX today, just because it faded into the close yesterday pretty well, and then you saw another big move on it down today. I long term, I think that thing is a total sale. I think it's going right back to the basement where it belongs, but I wouldn't count on it happening just all the way today. You got to look at the liquidity on this, and with even though it's only doing a 1.3 relative volume with 88.8 million shares traded on it, you're going to have people that are going to be buying it, buying dips, and trying to ride a few cents up and kind of propping that price up and so on and so forth. But I would suspect over the next week we'll see that thing back down around $3. Unless they really come out with some amazing vaccine for this thing, and I don't know anything about it, nor do I want to, nor do I care. But you know, we've seen this play out before.
Yeah, the difference between technical and news traders, right? Is, me and Chris are both kind of technical traders. I'm more on the systematic end of things. And yeah, we just couldn't care less. We'll kind of stick to our plans. I don't
Yeah,
know what's happening here with Vanmark, but getting pushed around a little bit. One of these things must be bouncing. Is it?
PRTG bounced high back up to six. So I think
Oh,
it just
that's what's
kissed
going
over,
on.
kissed six almost.
It's,
So he
yep.
was all the way down at 550 with it, and it ran right back up against him. So I'll be honest, I'm kind of shocked that it's bouncing like this with such little time left to go in the day. I thought it would close near 550 personally. I mean, there's still a couple of minutes left. It still could do it, but I did not anticipate it making a bounce like it just has.
Yeah, and Fujo, yeah, again, just took a swing at something, didn't work out. You have to take a swing, right?
Yeah,
You,
yep,
you know, if you're in this competition, again, you want to trade it seriously. You don't want to break any rules. This is trading for the real world, but you got to take a swing. And it was FFIE. This is another, just like GDC, a bit of a widowmaker. So he's probably betting on a break of this support of 675. Got a reversal in his face there as well. Are we getting a whole reversal in the market? Yeah, that's kind of what's happening here. So the market sold a little bit and then has turned around and bounced higher. So a lot of people who are short are suffering just because the whole market's rallying a little bit. And Spanky, other than his one share of ASTS, which he is up 2 cents on. You're welcome for that amazing stock tick. As this thing starts to kind of close on lows, so it's good. It's good for my competition, up 9,000 ish dollars, 9,700. So I'll take that. I'm just bragging because I'm happy that I'm not down in one of these competitions. So yeah, so I see Fujo must be in chat there saying, yeah, FFIE sank me on the
yeah,
swing. And again, you
yeah,
have to stay within your risk
yeah.
profile. Now, if this was real trading, you certainly wouldn't want to 2 minutes into the close be trying to make something happen. But totally understand with the contest, and it looks like it's going to be Spanky here, barring any kind of rule break. Again, we're going to go and check all those out. But yeah, very, very close for a second there. It was PRTG that bounced at the end that ended up sealing the fate. Could have very easily gone the other way if it failed at that support. I think we would have had a different winner, but ends up being an awesome competition. Really, really cool to see. Big fan.
Four
That's it.
o'clock.
Counting it down. So we'll take a screenshot of the leaderboard. We're just going to make sure, even though it does freeze it, but it does look, barring any sort of rule breaks, we'll go through and assess all that that we're going to have the winner decided there. Really, really cool to see. Really exciting competition. I like the short only ones. I don't know if it's because I'm just not good at shorting or they just get crazier, but it just I just enjoy it because you start to see the other side of you have amateur traders that come out and they go, okay, you just buy this stock and it goes to the moon, and then you sell it and you become a millionaire. And then I talk to a lot of these professional traders that do the complete opposite, where they're saying, I wait for these pump and dumps to end. If I can get my locates, if I use a broker like Centerpoint that actually helps with that, I can take my trade, I can make my profit from it. I know that I can't ever double my money because it's the difference between trying to hit home runs, which generally speaking doesn't work out for traders, and the people that hit signals over and over and over again. Because what you're having happen is you're having, I can't double or triple my money if I'm only looking at the short side. So that's going to stop you from swinging for the fences because you're going to have to get out of the position at some point soon anyway. And it helps them manage risk, where I think there's something that happens kind of mentally to people where they go, okay, I bought this stock and has this amazing news and look how high it's going up. And then they try to hold it for that swing for the fence, double, triple, quadruple, and that never ends up working out for them at all. So very interesting to see these short competitions. Personally, I love them.
I I'm not a short trader. I beat myself up once in a while that I don't do it. It's just that when I started to teach myself learn how to trade, it was the bull market of 2017, and we've had so few bear markets. There are two bear markets since I started trading. One was like for 5 minutes long at the end of 2018, going into 2019. The other was the COVID crash. And then we had the bear market that at the beginning of 2022, going into the beginning of 2023, but none of them felt like, I guess because I was in my 20s during the great financial crisis and I was following enough financial news to just realize how little I knew, but nothing felt like that where it was just like 2008, everything's down, 2009, everything's down, 2010, everything's down, 2011, things are grinding and chopping, 2012, nothing's really going up still. I haven't seen anything like that. So it's rising tide lifts all boats. So I haven't had my hand forced to short in that regard. But I like these short competitions because it's getting me in that mind frame. Because someday it's going to happen. I'm going to have to flip that script if I want to be able to do anything in the market in that regard. That's just the way it goes. And so this is it's kind of pushed me a little bit into an uncomfortable zone. I haven't participated in the competitions to the level that I would like. I would like to do it a little more seriously than what I've been able to do. I think that time will be able to come as move forward and things and support around here and whatever other roles that I participate in. But it's still trend following at the end of the day. It's still following a trend, whether it's short term or long term trend.
Yep.
And it's an arrow you want to have in your quiver. It's an arrow I want to have in my quiver. So got to consider. I have multiple brokerage accounts, but none with Centerpoint. I have to consider one at this point if I want to get to that short side of things, because like we said before, even your serious but run of the mill brokers, you're going to find it very hard to short some of these big time movers that get that real big pop up. They're going to get locked up in your E Trades and IBs and Think and Swim of the worlds. They're not going to let you short those stocks to quote protect you. And only with a broker like Centerpoint are you going to be able to do something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, listen, thank you everyone for coming by. It was a blast again. I love doing this. I think they're so much fun. I love that I chat with traders that are successful and we get to learn a little bit about. So stay tuned to the channel. I think actually next week the last trading competition that will be out. When it comes to this next one, I know you're in chat, so Spanky, please stay tuned to your email because I'll be reaching out. But I would like to reach out to a number of the top winners just to get your thoughts on how everything went. Anytime I can talk to a trader who has a trading plan and is successful in some way, I think that's a great thing to do to pass down to other traders. That's how I learned to trade, was from listening to other people who are successful at it. So definitely, stay tuned to your emails. I would love to chat. And thank you to Centerpoint very much. Again, short only competition, no better broker to partner with. Centerpoint, definitely check them out as well. And thank everyone for coming by and checking out the streams. And I'll see everyone next time.
Take care, folks. Have a great weekend.